This is how you truly surrender to the Holy Spirit. Surrender is the art of being able to flow with God. So whenever he gives you instructions, you do it. Whenever he tells you to sit and wait, you do it without resistance. It's the ability to overcome the resistance that the enemy throws your way. Because our spirits truly know what we need to do every step of the way, but our carnal mind, our past experiences, our fears, all of these things create resistance, and it keeps you from doing it, and it causes delay. So in order for you to flow and to surrender with the Holy Spirit, you have to overcome every single piece of resistance that presents itself to you. Every single fear, every single limiting belief, everything that you know is stopping you from doing what you have been called to do, you have to face it head on. In the Bible, God has never told somebody to turn around and run. He always told them to fight the giants in front of them. So the way I personally do this is by journaling. I journal a lot. I always surrender every single fear to God. I take every single obstacle to him, every single piece of resistance to him, and I allow him to give me the truth behind it. I have an exercise that I do. I basically split the page in half. On one side, I write limiting beliefs. On the other side, I write truth, and then I have a topic. So it could be about money. It could be about my relationship. It could be about anything. You write all the limiting beliefs that you have, everything that you have that is keeping you from doing what he's called you to do, all the fears, everything. Even the most irrational thoughts and feelings, you write them on one side. On the other side, you pray and you allow God to give you the truth to counteract the enemy's lies. As you do this on pen and paper, you'll begin to see how irrational your thoughts actually are, and you'll see how pleasing and how peaceful the truth looks. And it'll make you want to go forward and surrender. You have to do that every single time. You have to overcome every single piece of resistance every single time. And that's how you get to a place where you will be able to surrender more and more, because you're overcoming those giants that are presenting themselves to you. There is no easy way to surrender. You have to overcome. You have to. You have to go through. You can't go under, you can't go around, you have to go through. And so that means being honest with yourself about your fears and being honest with yourself about your emotions. That means feeling those emotions but not allowing them to define you. I hope that helps.
What? No! No!
I discovered something crazy in the Bible today, and I'm going to tell you about it. Okay, so I was doing a Galatians chapter 5 Bible study, and I made it to verse 22. And if you don't know what that is, I've seen this verse, y'all, maybe 50 million times in my life. And it's the verse that talks about the fruits of the Spirit. Well, if you actually read the verse, it's fruit in the verse is singular. It is not plural. So it says the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, self-control, all the above, right? So I went and I compared it in a bunch of different translations to see, was it all singular? Not in one translation is fruit plural. There's no fruits. It's just fruit. So once I discovered that was the case, I was like, okay, every translation fruit is singular. There is intention behind this. And basically what I discovered is Paul writes, so this is a letter that Paul is writing. Paul is writing to the Galatians, and basically he's saying the fruit of the Holy Spirit is all of the above, love, joy, all of them, because he's saying that you can't pick and choose what fruits you have. Like, no matter who you are or how you operate, all of those fruits of the Spirit are in you. It's a byproduct of the Holy Spirit. It's not, oh, I have this fruit, but not this fruit. It is a fruit of the Holy Spirit. It's all in one, not some in one. This convicted me so hard because I am so guilty of like, yeah, Jesus didn't give me patience. That's not a fruit of the Spirit of me. Or I've said gentleness. I always say gentleness is a fruit of the Spirit I lack. Y'all, we can't say that anymore because that is not biblically correct. You lack nothing if you have the Holy Spirit. So that is the revelation. I am just blown away because I've seen this verse so many times and never noticed that fruit was singular. Anyways, we can't say God didn't give us patience, God didn't give us gentleness, God didn't give us self-control, because he did. End of story.
What about you being built like a bus driver?
What about you being built like the bus?
Your reminder for today is to use and pray for discernment this week. There's a story in the Bible where Jesus is coming in to a town where one of his best friends had just passed, Lazarus. And Mary and Martha are the sisters of Lazarus. And so while Jesus was coming in, they kind of greet him, and then they're like, why weren't you here? And they both start asking kind of these questions. And Jesus had the discernment, because loving people is hard sometimes, and it's complicated, and each person needs something different. And so when Jesus talks to Mary and Martha, he says and responds in different ways because he knows that they're two different people. Mary, he weeps with her. Martha, he speaks truth into her because he knew that each of them needed different things, right? So my prayer for you and for myself as well is that we have discernment. We're able to look at people and see their needs and be able to meet them in different ways, because every single person is unique and every single person is different, and every single person deserves to be loved the way that Jesus would love them. And that's uniquely, and that's with discernment.
You ain't got the answer, Sway.
Kanye.
I've been doing this more than you.
You know what? I will go ahead and say Sway had the answer.
Stop comparing your walk with other people's walks. Everybody's walk is different. Everybody goes through different things, and everybody handles things differently. Don't compare your walk to others. Just focus on doing better. Focus on being the best version of yourself as possible. Most importantly, focus on being more like Christ every single day. Because when you focus on other people and on their walk, you're focusing on them and not Jesus. Jesus is the key. Focus on being more Christ-like and not more people-like. You feel me? Anyways, God bless you.
I want to talk about this. We've seen these before. You pick a number, you do the little thing, you pull the tab, it has something written on it. We know what this is. We played with it in grade school. So my daughter, 8 years old, she goes to a private Christian school, one of the best in the county. We pay a lot of money for her to go there. And my daughter was playing with this last night. And I questioned her, where did you get this? Well, I got it from school, from market day. They were selling these during market day for her grade, her classroom. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, this is not a child's handwriting. This is fully adult handwriting. And I said, do you know what this is? And she said, yeah, it's fortune telling. I said, do you know what fortune telling is? And she's thought about it. I'm like, we've talked about this. Well, it's witchcraft. This is the same thing as witchcraft. It falls in the same category, fortune telling. This innocent little thing, children's game that we think, oh no, it's no big deal. It's innocent. Same thing as Ouija board. Little thing like Ouija boards. Just starts out with that. Tarot cards, no big deal. Ouija boards, no big deal. Palm reading, no big deal. It's all under the same category of witchcraft. I study exorcisms, deliverance, and demonology very thoroughly. Demons don't care how old you are or what you're doing, how innocent it may be. They will enter in any way that they can through a little game like that of fortune telling. The fact that my daughter goes to a private Christian school, and this is allowed, is mind-boggling to me. Of course, I am labeled as a Fruit Loop and a little bit crazy and out there because I believe in the giftings. I believe in prophecy and discernment and prophets and apostles and the fivefold, and I attend a fivefold ministry, and I work in ministry, and I do deliverance, and I see healings, and I evangelize, and I don't know why I'm labeled the way I am, since I'm doing everything Jesus did in the Bible and told us to do as disciples, and disciples made disciples, and disciples were doing this. So I don't understand why. It's crazy to me, because demons will enter in through this. I've seen it. I've heard it. Demons will tell you, oh, they were playing the Ouija board when they were 10 years old. They were at a graveyard doing seances and whatever. They'll take any opportunity to enter, and demons will enter into Christians. You will have oppression because all they care about is kill, steal, and destroy humans. They hate us. Please educate yourself and educate your children on why we don't mess with things like this. I'm not being super spiritual. I'm not being crazy. Again, I study this. This should not be anywhere near a Christian school. This should not be anywhere near children. I played with this growing up too. I get it. And let me tell you, my life was screwed up from the beginning. So educate yourself on what your kids are doing.
With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God.